All right, ladies, this is Alex from Mindful Attraction 2.0, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about the keys, three keys to keep a man interested. All right, and this is something that happens a lot, and a lot of women encounter this where they're able to maintain the power, they're able to keep a guy interested, right? Throughout the first couple weeks before you guys even have sex and whatnot. But as soon as you guys begin to get comfortable, as soon as he gains interest and you feel like you have him, he loses interest. You see, and that happens often, right? And so I'm gonna show you guys three key things you guys have to do, and this is actually pretty good if you ask me. If you ask me, pretty goddamn good, right? And yeah, by the way, if you guys don't know, I'm in my new WeWork location. Oh yeah, boo boo, WeWork, right? I'm working. Let's go. And so yeah, I'm gonna be making videos from this location from now on. Maybe not in this phone booth, right? But I'm gonna be making videos around here. And also, I'm going. Let me put this down. Yeah, that's good, right? There you go. And also, I'm going to for those who need one-on-one coaching, just go to mindfulattraction.org. So I show you coach in the pocket. And those who want to attend my seminar, you guys need know where to go. The link is on the description below. So let's get started. All right. Yeah, I love WeWork. So when making a guy interested, initially when you're seducing the guy, when you're making him attracted to you, right? You aren't really your normal self. Why? Not because you're not really being yourself, but because there's an enhancement of yourself. You see, it's kind of like the color blue. You can have light blue and you can have midnight blue. Same color, but it's just an enhancement of the color from light blue to midnight blue. It's the same thing. You're just enhancing your personality, right? Um, you intentionally you intentionally wrap yourself in mystery, like you make him curious about you, and you create suspense to make your man interested. You see, and that's how you make him fantasize about you. All right, and so you're essentially wrap him around your spell. All right, and that's what keeps him interested. And a lot of the times it's kind of like people who are alcoholics or even heroin addicts. Just because you quit drinking or just because you quit shooting up drugs for 2 weeks doesn't mean the demon is gone. You see, just because you got him interested doesn't mean he's gonna stay. You see, and we sometimes overestimate the appearances that we have, right? So, but after a while, he loses interest. That's what tends to happen. It's called the disenchantment, like Robert Greene would say. Reality sets in, and reality isn't seductive. Like the clothes you have, the beautiful clothes you wear, right? When you're home, it's not about, to be honest with you, it's not even about the makeup, right? It's about the adornments you wear, the clothes, the earrings. Like it has less to do about makeup, but more about the adornment, because the adornments is what gives you the aura, the look that you have, right? So reality sets in, and he's kind of like, and that happens a lot. That happens with you guys too. That happens with other things, with other like sources of stimulation, video games. It happens with everything, right? And so you can't keep using the same strategies. And also, actually, you could. What I'm trying to say is that you cannot stop using those strategies. It doesn't end there when he gets interested. That's when things begin. All right. So that's where that's where the first key comes into play. Maintain the seduction. You have to maintain it. Don't let your partner feel like you're trying less now. You see, don't let your partner feel like, oh, like, look at her, like she's letting herself go now because she has me. Don't let things get into a routine, and don't let them get too comfortable, emotionally comfortable, which is to say, I have her and I'll never lose her because she just wants me and I could fuck up. You see, he says it because you're not setting boundaries. See, that's one thing, right? Also comfortable in terms of how you look. You also, a lot of times when you're a beautiful woman, right? But then you just stay like that. You don't try to improve on yourself. You don't try to look for new fashion. You don't try to look at new ways to impress your man. Stuff like that. It's not about the inherent looks you have, but rather the way that you project yourself. It takes effort. It's like with guys, with women, it takes effort. And a lot of times we don't want effort. We just want to find that thing, that guy, so you could just relax and not have to work anymore. But no, to maintain the good relationship, you gotta put and exert some effort. You have to make it uncomfortable for him from time to time. You see, and that sometimes means creating mini arguments and pulling back from time to time. You see, sometimes when you don't have no arguments, you know what I'm talking about, makeup sex, right? Angry sex. You see, you guys apologize to each other. Oh, I didn't mean to say this. You see, the thing is that you're not making this happen unintentionally because you guys just clash. You're making this happen intentionally because you're using it as a strategy. You're losing battles to win the war. You're strategically creating arguments so that you could create some tension and then and then you guys return to each other, and then you guys make up. But a lot of times relationships need that. A lot of times the good relationships have unintentional conflict that's corrosive. But the reason why I'm telling you to actually create conflict on purpose is for the purpose of the contrast of returning to each other and feeling that comfort once again, and reminding each other that you guys really care about each other. But sometimes when you don't experience the polar opposite emotion of what you love, then it's gonna be very difficult to realize what you're really feeling at this moment. So it's not about intentionally creating bad shit. It's just about intentionally making those arguments happen for good purposes. Now, for those who are asking, how do we set boundaries? You set boundaries by you having predisposed boundaries about what you will and will not accept from him. But it's not about just setting boundaries; it's the way you set them that's important. It's all about setting boundaries in a very playful way, in a very lighthearted way, non-defensively. Like saying, "Look, man, I love you, baby. You know, you're cool, but I don't like the way you talk to me that day. It made me not. Don't say you. I don't like the way you do this, but I'm saying I don't like the way it made me feel. Like it really offended me. And to be honest with you, I don't want to deal with that shit. Like that. It's not like, by the way, we need to talk. It's not angry. It's just relaxed. You see, it's not about you, but you. This is the way I felt when this happened. Stuff like that. Like you have predisposed things that you wrote down prior to anything. That you said, this is what I accept and this is what I will not accept. Stuff like that. You see what I'm saying? And so what's going to happen then, those boundaries also create that pullback effect. Those boundaries also create that conflict. That's also a conflict. When he crosses those boundaries, he's going to feel shitty. He's going to want to work to regain what he lost because he set your boundary, because he crossed your boundaries, right? And that's how you create respect. And also, don't try to rely too much on your looks. You see, because it loses its strength at the repeated exposure. After a while, no matter how good looking you are, is gonna the effect is not gonna be as effective anymore. You see, so that's why you always got to keep improving on yourself. The thing is that it's not about using your looks, because if you rely on your looks, you're not really gonna think about this. You're not gonna put effort. You're gonna say I'm good looking enough, and so that's why he's gonna like me. No, you want to rely on strategy and effort, like Robert Greene says. You want to strategize this. This is love. It's not something that just happened. When it just happens, you're prone to the unpredictable. You want to be able to have some control over the dynamics, but knowing how to control his emotions in a good way. See, I know this sounds fucked up, but I I give you guys the benefit of the doubt that you guys have benevolent intentions rather than malevolent intentions. All right. By the way, I'm gonna get to the. I'm reading some comments for those who don't know this is live. They say would it not seem like nagging? I'm gonna show you guys how to nag the right way, because some of you guys need to learn how to nag. I should send my mother this video. So the second thing, so maintaining the seduction, that's one thing, right? The number two, have a light spirited personality. All right, don't be too defensive. I always talk about this being defensive. All right, don't be too defensive, because defensiveness is what makes the other person defensive. Learn to take things easily. Little conflicts that you encounter, learn to take it easily. When I mean by easily, I mean don't let things get too personal. Remember when I talk about creating arguments, right? Intentionally creating arguments. The reason why I want you to do that is because if you intentionally create the arguments, especially an argument that you're gonna lose intentionally, just so you could use that as good points in the future when you guys have an argument. He's like, well, last time she actually gave in to me because she thought she was wrong. So maybe, maybe she's right about this because she's being very persistent about this. The reason why I'm telling you to lose arguments is also because it gives you the vibe of, wow, she doesn't mind being wrong. And that's actually important. When someone doesn't mind being wrong and you know that, you're more cool around them. It's a good experience to be someone around that. It gives you a very light, a light, a leveled energy that's very comforting in nature. Trying to force the issue also, like if let's say that he doesn't clean the dishes the right way, right? Let's see that he does it right. Trying to force him by continually nagging him about having to clean the dishes the right way is wrong. Complaining is not going to help. You see, trying to change the person by force won't help him. By force is by telling him what to do, right? But rather, you want to be playful with it when he fucks up, all right? And don't try to change him, but rather give him the chance to follow you through example. You see, it's not even about you saying, look, this is how you do it. All right. No. You see, once again, you're doing it defensively. You see, it's all about being the example. So if he doesn't clean the dishes right, rather than nag, find out what he did right. Oh, but like, oh, baby, I like the way you did that, but I don't know. Maybe you should do it. Maybe you should do it better next time, you know. And you just do it yourself. And you just say, "But I'll do it. Don't worry about it." But next time, can you please make sure to do it a little bit better? I thank you. And maybe I said it wrong, but what really makes people pissed off and what makes God lose attraction is not the action itself, but rather the source of the action. How defensive are you? See, I'm getting defensive right now. You see what I'm saying? So if you want him to do something, first be the example. Now, remember when I told you, yeah, this could lead to him taking advantage of you, but then you got to have predisposed boundaries. But also, you got to have predisposed boundaries, but doing it in a lighthearted way. This is all a synchronistic thing that has a synergistic effect that when used together is going to most likely increase the chances the guy's going to stay. So the last one, number 3, maintain a mystery. This is important, man. Sometimes you reveal too much about yourself. You reveal everything about yourself in the first couple weeks. Now, I'm not talking about revealing the good side and then him realizing that you're a psycho after a couple weeks, right? No, I'm not talking about that. But really having things that you just intentionally don't reveal so that he can have something to look for in the future. You see, because you got to have more depth and you got to keep some stuff away from him so that he can be surprised by you on a daily basis. That doesn't just mean qualities about you, but that also means no. That doesn't just mean things like you used to skate. No. That also means a certain quality. Like there are certain times when you get extremely aggressive. There are certain times you get very assertive. When someone talks shit about your man, you defend them. You could be the nicest girl, and suddenly if you hear somebody talking shit about your man, you defend them. You see, it's all about having different aspects of yourself that you don't reveal intentionally in the beginning, so that you can have something to work with later on. You see, and because sometimes when you just focus on your looks and on having your looks to make them want you, right? Then you're not really gonna work on your personality. You're not gonna have a lot of depth. But if you focus on improving on yourself, I promise you, you're gonna develop more depth to you. Some people have depth, but the wrong way because it's just fucked up in the head. What I want you to have is actually good depth, depth that's interesting, a depth that's fascinating. Have different interests, have things that you do on your own that most people don't know. And that the only way for them to find out if they actually inquire about it and actually make the effort to get to know you. And that's how it is. I'm reading how much space do relationships need? A relationship needs a little space from time to time. It's not a huge space. It's just little space from time to time. Like like if you guys constantly together, 7 days, 7 days of the week, create space, but just having your own day to yourself and telling you, look, baby, I need some space. All right. And making sure that if you do take the days to yourself, post the pictures on Instagram that you're either hanging out with your friends or that you're doing something. Because sometimes when you create space and you don't let them know what are you up to, it's gonna grow, it's gonna start being suspicious. Now, nothing wrong with him growing suspicious, but let him feel suspicious and then let him see the evidence that his suspicions is not founded. You know what I'm saying? Because then it's actually gonna have a deeper effect where he said, "Damn, I'm actually kind of fucking crazy for this girl that I'm thinking that she's always some guy." Now, that's not healthy though, because if he's thinking that either A, he's been cheated on and he's hurt, right? Or B, you have a history of maybe doing that kind of stuff, and maybe you fucked up somehow. And in those cases, then creating space, having a reputation of someone who cheated on them in the past, or that is kind of suspicious, I don't recommend it that much. That's how it is. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Anyways, this is Alex from mindfulattraction.org. If you guys want one-on-one coaching, just go to mindfulattraction.org. By the way, I'm wearing the shirt that they gave me, right? It's a nice shirt. Hey, because the way this feels, right? It's a nice little shirt, right? I don't button up my shirts too much. I like the Papi Chulo look. But yo, like this shirt is nice, yo. It's like, I was like, oh man, and with the hair too, makes me look professional. I came into the rework with my fucking hat backwards, my skateboard, right? Fuck it, right? I look professional like this, right? Yeah, man, that's how it is, man. Like if you guys say I don't have no depth, okay, then to be honest with you, meditating from bum to gentleman, that's funny. Meditating, doing yoga, being spiritual does help. Like because it's not about because you become spiritual. No, it's about because it helps you have a different perspective on life. It helps you see underneath the surface of things. And that's highly important as an individual, as being an open-minded individual, having depth and being able to look underneath the surface. All right. Yeah, that's it, guys. Anyways, this is Alex. Yes, and the seminar, yo, for those who are in the seminar, you guys should have received the email where the seminar is gonna be. The seminar is gonna be in this building, actually. This building is pretty fucking nice, man. It's gonna be in this building. It's gonna be refreshments. They're gonna be. I think they have they have beer here. I'm like, I don't want you guys drinking beer if you guys gonna be my seminar. I don't want you guys drunk. I don't drink that much. You know, makes it makes me look old. But it's gonna be here. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a good screen. It's just gonna be fucking amazing. I'm so excited. The content. I already made the content. Everything's set. Like I just prepared. Like to be honest, I prepared for this my whole life because I taught this content so many fucking times that's it's just like I could really just sit down right now and start teaching it right now from beginning to end without even like looking at the notes. That's how pretty much that's how much I know the content. So I feel really lucky that that for like most people who start seminars, they have to train a lot and keep repeating the content because it may be new to them. But when you practice this as a living, like meeting women, and you internalize it in a deeper level to the point that you can recite this shit and without even thinking, you know. Um, yeah, man, and yeah, I'm going to have a seminar in California sometime in August in Cali. So I'm going to, for those who are interested, you know, just let me know. I'm going to be I'm going to be making I'm going to be creating a sign up form for that where you guys could sign up prematurely, prematurely, right? No, I'm kidding. No, yeah, prematurely. And so the thing is, it's gonna be a little bit more because I gotta travel there. I gotta pay for my expenses to get there, to stay there, right? So I'm debating on the price on that because I gotta live, motherfuckers, right? So I'm thinking maybe doing pay-per-view. Like you're right about that, Candace, right? I'm thinking of maybe doing pay-per-view with some of you guys. I may do that actually. I may do that. Yeah, I may do it. I'm gonna see how I could work that out. So I'm gonna be making an announcement for that. Because you know it's gonna be fun. But at the same time, I don't want you guys to like I want you guys to be here, girl. You know, like I want you guys to meet me. You know, like hey Alexis, maybe faint a little bit. You know, have a little faint-a-thon. You know, oh my god, I'm like oh that feeds my ego. I'm kidding. But so yeah, that's how it is. Anyway, that's it, guys. I'm Alex from mindfulattraction.org. I have a call right now with a client, and so take care and bye bye.